What's up YouTube, it's the Russian Madman here, and first of all, I'm a little bit of a fucking idiot, because I recorded probably this turn, and I think also the beginning of next turn or something. Basically I didn't save the game, so I have to redo it, but it's only one turn, so yeah. It's gonna have to be done again. Getting back into the game, we need the boost for what you call it, industrialization. And in order to get it, we need to have 3 workshops built, which one is going to be complete here in 4 turns. We're going to buy the one in the capital, and we're going to finish this one here in 7 turns as well. So we're probably going to delay industrialization and switch off to another tech sometime soon. Let's buy the one in the capital. Okay, there it is. So now the capital has a healthy 36 production. So it's actually going to be able to build stuff relatively quickly. We're also going to finish the intelligence agency after the university and then plop down the +4 theater square here. So, and this city, or this city, doesn't really matter which one, needs to also get a theater square here, because it's eventually also going to be a +3, I think. And if we put another district here, then it's going to be a +4 eventually. The trader is being done here, so we're going to be having 5 traders next turn. We have a faith income of nearly 70 faith per turn, which is nice. So probably what I'm going to be looking into is Buddhism. I think is Egypt's religion, because there's their capital. So probably what you call it, spreading Buddhism in most of my cities, which actually half of them have it already, because the Zulus have a lot of cities converted. And probably we're gonna try to go after Geneva and maybe Kandy, even though Kandy's in a horrible spot, to capture it, but it has a very good holy site here and a potential for a very good campus here. If we just put a district here in between, like say an aqueduct, maybe commercial hub and industrial zone here. So yeah, that's it's probably the plan for the next few turns. And we probably need bombards, but I don't really see any city particularly apt at producing them in a relatively short amount of turns. So here it would take 12 turns. Granted, it doesn't have an industrial zone and a workshop, but still. So basically we need more builders to rush down more districts, in a nutshell. And then really just keep developing our infrastructure. We just settled here. I mapped out also another city here, because it can have a pretty nice industrial zone and a harbor. And then probably also another city here, another one here. So we just need to keep settling and keep buying builders. Could be probably another city here as well. So we'll see what we do exactly. But there's basically no reason to stop settling and stop developing our infrastructure. That's a reef also here. So there would actually be a +2 campus here. And if I was able to take this city, I'd plant one down here and do something like harbor campus, because that would be cool and it would be a good city overall. And then we could be planting another city. Let's just take a look at the settler lands. Yeah, we could be probably planting another city like here or so. So we need to probably go after the Zulu as well, but they're the suzerain of Kandy and Geneva. So it would be actually kind of nice to take over probably Geneva, since it's a scientific city-state. We don't really need to take over because we're going to be trying to fly into space. So we're going to see what we can do with Kandy. The city-states are usually pretty bad at defending themselves. So we'll take a look into what we can do. These units, I think I wanted to explore with one of them. Oh, that's the wrong Great General, right. We need to swap the Great Generals, because Aethelred is for medieval and Renaissance units, which the musketmen classify as, whereas Jeanne d'Arc is for, I think, Renaissance and Industrial, and the field cannons are industrial units, so we need to swap the Great Generals places. so that all of them can move optimally. Okay, so this one is a 2 out of 3 movement now. So I want to just discover this city-state, bottom line. I just want to do this. And as soon as I discovered which city-state it actually is, or maybe it's a free city, then we can start thinking about going after Kandy and then eventually also after the Zulu. Because there's really no reason to stop waging war on someone, because it's also getting us closer to the science victory, since we don't need to build more units, essentially, because we already have units. So we can just use the existing ones. Okay, I think this builder's last charge is going to be going into the harbor, because otherwise it's going to take a hell of a long time to complete. Yeah, 70 turns. Let's figure out where we need the next builder. And which district we want to plant down in the capital. We definitely want to restore these 2 tiles as well. And this is not even on apocalypse mode, and this volcano just keeps erupting. So thank God I'm not playing on apocalypse mode. Yeah, I probably want to build her here. And how much is the trader worth in faith? Trader is 360 gold. That's kind of pointless though. We need spies as well. Something I totally overlooked. So we'll see which city we're gonna get to start producing our spies. Right, there's the boost for astronomy. This Eagle Warrior. Now, we were scouting here with the Courser, I think, which we sent into the water for some reason, when really it's not the best use of him, because we need to explore this area. So we'll send him north instead. Taking Kandy would be hard, because we would need to attack across the river. So I think the best thing we can do is we can get our units in position. And we can chip away at the walls with the field cannons, probably, although a bombard would be beneficial. So really, the bottom line is this city needs an industrial zone ASAP. And it's not really growing fast enough for it. Okay, the capital needs the intelligence agency and then the theater square. And this guy needs to repair these tiles. The eagle, this way the scouting is done. So in terms of cities, probably this can be a city. Solely for the purpose of going Harbor Campus. Because it's also a +3. And then probably this can be a city too. Although this is a really good spot for an industrial zone. Problem is it cannot be located between an aqueduct and a dam. So we would need to sacrifice something for the placement of it. So probably getting just the one strategic resource would be better. And in terms of how we want to do this, this can be a lovely farm triangle here. Maybe even like 5 farms here. So maybe we do something like this. Aqueduct, that's the dam. And that's a +6 industrial zone. But then this city cannot really get a good commercial hub. If we put it 1 tile to the north though, then it all fits. Yeah, this is a little bit better. This is a little bit better. We could also potentially get a city here. And then this would be aqueduct, industrial zone, campus probably. So we really need to keep settling. Yeah, this would be a +4 too. And a +3 campus. Yeah, we need at least 5 more settlers. Preferably 10. This city's finally... can finally be useful. Okay, so the shipyard would give it +3 production. Which would be massive, because it would be basically almost doubling its production. As well as I think it gives +1 production on all unimproved coastal lake tiles. So basically everywhere. Here, and then also on these science tiles. What I really want to do though, I want to buy this tile. Just for the science that it has. And immediately start working it. Okay, so the production is pretty scarce. There's probably also need a builder here. And in the meantime, this city can get a nice theater square as well as this one. So this here can be a theater square. This here can be a theater square. And then it needs a district in between here. Probably we need an entertainment complex here at some point. Later down the line. To make this, also this theater square into a +3 as well. The industrial zone here would be kind of crappy. It would only ever be a +1. So yeah, the idea of placing down an entertainment complex here seems reasonable. For now though, we'll just keep... We'll work on the ancient walls probably would be reasonable, because the city cannot even produce anything, and we need to buy a builder as soon as possible to chop these 2 tiles. And Magnus can probably switch, because this city needs to chop as efficiently as it can. So we can swap him into Chalco. Or we could swap him to another city that would just spam settlers. But the capital is the best at producing settlers, so we would need... No, the whole purpose of Bengala is to sit in the capital, so yeah, we'll swap him to here. And we also have another governor title. So Bengala probably doesn't need to be promoted. Neither does Victor. Reina, on the other hand... Where's she sitting? Athens. So +2 gold from every unimproved tile. Which is a lot of tiles. So we could promote her with that. And yeah, that's a lot of gold. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10... That's like at least 15, that's at least 16 to 20 gold there. Just from promoting her. This city is done for most of its districts. Let's build the consulate just for the reduction in enemy spy efficiency. Then here Well, the shipyard, it would help, but it wouldn't really be the best investment of time. So we'll pin the industrial zone down, we'll just place it. This campus needs adjacency also somehow. But that's the best industrial zone, so there is no reason not to plant it there. And it's going to be boosted by builders down the line. So in terms of valuable infrastructure, probably getting a trader here wouldn't be the end of the world. A builder would be better though. Okay, you can... Actually, we can send him to our city, heal him up, and then send him fog busting to prevent any bad stuff from appearing from the fog of war. Now, since Reina is in Athens, let me just double check, but I think now it's more reasonable to send all the trade routes from Athens. Plus 3 gold per turn from each foreign trade route passing through the city. Oh, okay, so it's not giving the bonus to our ones. Which is a bit of a shame, but it doesn't matter ultimately. Alrighty, so do we want to go after Candy? Considering we don't really need faith, and it's really a nice city location because it could get some really damn nice districts. This can be a +3 campus. This can be an aqueduct. Then this can be the industrial zone. And this can be the commercial hub. That sort of general layout would be cool. And then we could get the farms. Well, yeah, we would rob the city of a farm triangle, but I think considering it's already at a population of 8, we could somehow find ways to give it food. Just this rice tile on its own with a watermill would actually be +5 food, so doable. Let's send these guys across. Oh, okay, so there are also levied Zulu units here. Anyway, let's position our units. Oh, okay, so he's coming for me. Okay, so perfect timing. Perfect timing on moving our troops. So let's just fortify them all. And that's it. We're gonna... Oh, he can build a vampire castle, can't he? Because that's like this amazing improvement. Why? Why can't he build it? Can it only be built on hills? Vampire castle. Oh, okay, so it cannot be built on floodplains. Got it. How do I do it then? Probably putting 2 right here next to each other would be the best. Or like right here next to each other. Because this would give us some nice defensive fortification. Okay, this is definitely a vampire castle, and this is going to be one also. I would love to chop the forest though before. Okay, so let's go discover the city-state. And let's send all of the units to the forefront. Because the Zulu are coming for us. Well, of course they are, because they can't really conquer the Mapuche, I imagine. Okay, this needs to become a mine. finally, after this horrible mistake, I put a farm there. Yeah, this city is now reasonably productive. This city is now reasonably productive. So his last charge can be inserted into the industrial zone, and then we also need to... Well, we need a lot of builders, basically. And you can input your charge into the harbor. Nice, we cut almost half of it. Okay, so we need to build the vampire castles and defend ourselves from the Zulu. I don't think they would attack a city-state that they're Suzerain enough. It sounds kind of dumb. She wants to sell us tea for iron. Well, since I have that much iron, I don't mind. Plus, extra amenities are always nice. Okay, our science game is really lighting up there with more than 200 now. So we need to explore into Egyptian territory because we have a research alliance with her. We need to get to know where her cities are so that we can actually trade with her. Because otherwise it's just basically a waste of turns. What city is this though? Oh, so it's a free city. Yeah, it's definitely a free city. With the Temple of Artemis in it. So we probably just need to discover it and then it's gonna start flipping towards us, I imagine, because otherwise why would it be a free city? Because it's only me and probably the Mapuche maybe and Egypt having loyalty here. And considering I have cities with 7, 9, 9 and 4 pop respectively in the region, it's probably flipping towards me. Then here in Athens we can get the industrial zone finished. And we need to straight away buy the tile for the second vampire castle. And then we need to buy a builder for faith here. Lovely, so it all lines up perfectly. Now these guys are going to be positioned right where we want the vampire castles. You can go here. Fortify. And then the field cannons can join as a support force. I'd really love to trade with Egypt. For now though, I think Geneva's gonna be it. Okay, this last charge, well we can chop. Or we can input production to the industrial zone, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Probably the art museum we need more than anything else, although this theater square doesn't really have a lot of adjacency, it has +1. Which ultimately doesn't really matter actually. Because we just need to wait 5 turns to be able to plan an industrial zone. So let's actually work on a trader here. Or maybe even, since our economy isn't a problem, let's work on a spy. Because not having a spy is also just a waste of time basically. Okay, so next turn, or in 2 turns, we're going to be able to harvest the marsh and the forest. And then build these 2 castles here. Okay, so this is definitely a free city there. New districts, culture bomb, I'm gonna vote for myself, just because it's the only reasonable thing here. And religion, I'm gonna choose Buddhism. And we're gonna see what passes. Okay, so me and Buddhism, so we also get +2 Diplo victory points from it. Could modernize this boy, but we wouldn't really, it would take a lot of time for him to get there, so it doesn't really matter. So let's just send him fog busting instead. Culture bomb districts, now where can I use it actually? Culture bombing districts. Not that I would really need them. So we'll see, maybe we'll make use of it later. Okay, here in Seoul the shipyard would be nice. And we still need to work one whale tile. So we'll work this one whale tile and then we'll focus on the shipyard. Okay, I think we can safely put a farm here to get the air score as well. But realistically the capital needs a... But the theater square can wait, really. I think. Or do we want a mine here, actually? Because a mine would give it how much production? Let's check. Okay, this would be +2 production. And I don't need food at all in the capital, so it's much better to have a mine here. Which is a bit of a shitty one, but it's better than just having food, because the capital has plenty of food to grow. Needs housing as well. We're gonna get it from buildings in districts. So here probably the shipyard would be nice. Let's actually do a trader here as well, and then we'll do the shipyard. Okay, so this city has walls, which is very bad because it's gonna attack us from here. But we're gonna be annexing it because it's gonna fall to us loyalty-wise anyway. Okay, so he has 2 builds. Oh, he can harvest the food. Okay, so let's harvest with the vampire, and then he can build the vampire castle next turn, and do the same here. Nice, so that completed the monument. And this builder can input his production to the industrial zone. Yeah, let's buy the granary in here because it's at housing cap already. So that at least gives it some housing. And these field cannons can just stay there. Okay, so there's the Mapuche probably. And I think we can't really get open borders with them, so we'll try to go around it. And since it's a Pangea, I'm really wondering where this continent is linked, which is probably down here. And then there's like 3 other civs here, I imagine. Or 2 of them. Yeah, this field cannon is really getting hit. Someone neutralized Pingala. So it's right about time we got a spy. Yeah, that's the problem. That's why it's bad that I'm getting it this late, because someone actually had the time to do this. We can get a library here. We can actually buy the library next turn, so I'd rather work on the workshop here. And then here, yeah, this city really desperately needs production. So yeah, this was gonna be the industrial zone. So there is no reason not to plant it there. And then it needs a builder. So for now, let's work on walls. just to be sure that if someone suzerains the city-state, we're not in a bad shape. Let's finish the library here for the extra science. And industrialization is already researched enough for it to get boosted once the workshop finishes in whichever city it is that was building it. So the capital has one finished, this one has finished one. And then there was a city which was working on a workshop. Oh yeah, this one. So it's going to be done in 3 turns. And in those 3 turns we can get astronomy because it leads us to chemistry ultimately. What for the extra science would be nice. But I'm gonna work on walls here as well, just in case Bandar Brunei decides to backstab me. And then probably go into a trader. Okay, let's work towards the industrial zone. And you can finally build a vampire castle. Oh, they cannot be adjacent one to another. Okay, so the second one can go like here, for example. Yeah, this is Mapuche land. So we need to somehow go around it. Here we improved the whales. So we can now start thinking about what else we want to do infrastructure-wise. Oh yeah, this city also has an encampment, so it needs to grow. Okay, so then we need to work on the food tiles. More than anything else. So in that case, we probably should improve the sheep tile as well. Then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 citizens. Where is the oh yeah, the 7th one is working this dog shit tile. So let's improve the sheep. Or chop it actually, for faster growth, and put a mine over the tile. Should probably be more reasonable. Especially since this can be a place for a district later on to give this campus more adjacency, as well as this one. So probably let's chop it. And there we go, already 8 citizens. So we're going to be able to plant another district soon. Can also plant the aqueduct here, since it's not dependent on the population. And then keep working on the monument. Okay, so we're gonna try to build another vampire castle there. And then we should be probably safe from the Zulu. But I'm still expecting a declaration of war. Because I don't understand why else he would be moving units in this general direction, because he's the suzerain of Geneva and Kandy, so it would be weird for him to move against his own... the city-states that he's the suzerain of, is what I'm trying to say. One turn for the theater square. I don't know if I really want to rush it. I'd rather chop here. For the eventual amphitheater and stuff. Or actually for the intelligence agency, as a matter of fact. Okay, so there's one turn shaved off of the intelligence agency. Still gonna get the theater square first because our culture sucks for the moment, so we need to boost it in any way we can, and we can renew our alliance with Egypt. Okay, they don't want to be friends anymore for some reason, so let's do mutual open borders. That's fine. Let's do all the luxury sales in the world. Because we don't have another trade partner anyway. 31 gold per turn, that's okay. So she's probably still willing to declare friendship, just not this turn, not right now. And she's at war with Lautaro, so if we join this war, she'll probably be our friend. And he's all the way there, so he's probably hammering at her cities. I don't really want to join a war, so unless that's the only way to renew our alliance, I'll probably avoid that. And we'll see if we can cut some deals with the Zulu, because they seem to be less aggressive now. So for sure we can sell them luxuries at least. I don't think they're gonna pay much, but again, since I cannot trade with anyone else, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, 20 gold for 4 resources is reasonable. So probably next turn he'll go neutral with us again. Let's try for the second vampire castle. And this is the medieval one, so we can place him... Actually, as a matter of fact, here would be nice. Okay, and this guy needs to go here and heal. Siege tower is really useless, so it can just chill. And there's the industrial zone complete. So we can buy the watermill in this city. Now these 2 tiles are super valuable, these 3 tiles actually, and we can put a farm triangle here. The only question is why we cannot put a dam on the tile where I want a dam. Alternatively, a dam here isn't the end of the world. It's not going to benefit this industrial zone is the point. But we can put a commercial hub here. So that doesn't really change anything, it just makes one industrial zone a little bit shittier. Because it's losing 2 adjacency, so it's going to be +2/+3. It's going to be just a +3 instead of a +5. But this city is going to have a better one then. Because this city here doesn't want to put a dam on this tile either. That's a big deal. And the tile already belongs to the city, so that's weird. I'm curious if we can also put both of the dams down, so we'll try. Here is useless, so let's put it down here. Now this pin is useless, this one too, and these 2 ones can go as well. And we can try if we can have both of them. Oh yeah, we can, because these are 2 separate rivers. Okay, so what we can do actually is we can just put a dam here, and then this can be an industrial zone as well. So I don't see any reason why not, because then both of these rivers stop flooding. So these ones are placed, and these need to be both boosted by builders. So probably another builder here wouldn't be the end of the world. And it can switch back to producing the watermill. And this one can switch back to producing what do we need? Has a dam, has an aqueduct, has a industrial zone. This industrial zone is gonna go here. So this one is actually gonna be a +6. And this one is gonna be a +5. And then this city's commercial hub, it's gonna be kinda shitty. It can be a +2 here, for example. Or maybe it doesn't even need a commercial hub, we'll figure it out. Okay, this guy has 3 charges. I probably want a mine on this hill to at least give this city some production. Because if we're ever to make any use of it, then we need it. In terms of Seoul's development though, the Deity plantation would give us half a point of housing. Because these are 3 fishing boats. Each of them gives half a point of housing and the plantation would give another one. So the housing would go up to 12. Okay, there's the capital with its +3 theater square. +4 rather. And it needs housing, so the amphitheater doesn't give it, but the archaeological museum does. Let's finish the intelligence agency and then we'll see how we solve the housing situation. This here, we haven't really unlocked the water park yet, have we? And we're not really about to. It's unlocked here, so after nationalism, which gives us corps and armies and an envoy, we can go straight for natural history. And then the astronomy technology we're going to have next turn as well, and we can build an archaeological museum in the capital, so that aligns up perfectly. So in the meantime, campus or shipyard is the question. Or workshop actually. Or aqueduct for that matter. We have so much stuff to build here, so probably buying a builder for faith would be reasonable. And in the meantime, let's just be getting the workshop to boost the city's production. Athens lacks housing and food. So since we can build farms on hills already, we can make this here a farm triangle to actually help the city grow. So let's finish the builder in here. And then this city is okay in terms of housing, but has really shitty production. So we'll plant down the campus just because it's a +3, so why not? And it's gonna need a builder as well. For now though, let's just plant walls here. In case some barbs would come or anything. That's just to be safe and to buy us the time that we need to buy a builder. And then we're gonna finish the campus and probably part of the industrial zone with the builder, and then as soon as that's done, that's gonna be a more or less livable city. Okay, so this guy still has 2 charges. Which population do we need to be planting another district? 16. So it's gonna come very soon. So I'd actually go and harvest the marsh to fast grow the city and then input 1 charge worth of production towards the commercial hub. Because this is the government plaza, so this commercial hub would be a +4 as well, I think. You go fog busting. You go build the plantation up. And there is the housing, I think. Yes, 12 housing. So we need 7 more points to go into a normal age. And this city needed... It needed districts, I think. So let's work on the industrial zone here. Ultimately, this needs to be a farm triangle, or maybe like even a square of farms. So I think this guy needs to finish the dam. "77 turns. Okay, let's see what's longer to produce, the industrial zone or the dam? Probably the industrial zone. Yeah, the dam. So let's put some turns into the dam production, because I want these industrial zones to have nice adjacency as soon as they're up. So there it is, reduced to 23, and we can keep working. We can actually finish the library, because it's 1 turn. Why can't he build another castle? Because he had 2 builds. Because we're allowed 2 per empire, right? Unlocked in the industrial era, grants a vampire unit, increases maximum vampire castle builds to 3. Your vampires can now intimidate adjacent enemy units, reducing their combat strength by 5. Villaging cost vampires 1 movement. Okay, so we need this as soon as we have the next governor title, so probably next turn. And then we'll see, because he can normally still build a castle, so we'll see. Because I really don't know why, because he had 2 builds, so it's kind of weird that the second build just disappeared. And I'm really waiting for this free city to join our empire. Okay, so she's finally friendly now enough for her to renew the alliance with us. Because this free city would also give us insight into the Egyptian territory and allow us to probably trade with their capital already.
Astronomy compels the
okay, there's the next governor title. So unlocked in the industrial era. Oh, why can't we adopt it then if it's unlocked in the industrial era? Because we are in the industrial era, and we're supposed to have a governor title. So... well, it's weird because I can promote these guys, but I can't promote this one. I don't know if it's a glitch or whatever it is. For some reason I can't promote here, so... well, these guys don't need to be promoted. Well, Reina can be promoted then. Okay, I mean, I don't know why I can't really... We have sources of coal, so we have one here. So that one is already giving us coal. We have one here. Okay, so these 2 are already giving us coal. And we have one here. So this one needs to be worked. So we're going to be having 6 coal per turn soon. So I think I'm buying a builder here next turn. And let's go for scientific theory for the Oxford University. And we have another great scientist 500 science for each natural wonder tile here or adjacent. So where do we... Oh, so he can get, from the Galapagos Islands, he can get 1000 science, which is perfect. Now here we wanted to harvest. There's the 16 pop that we wanted for the new district. And straight away we can start working on a commercial hub. But not before the intelligence agency. Corinth is gonna have 13 citizens soon. So probably going for a builder would be nice to give it a little bit more housing, as well as maybe a little bit more production, and then we can finally plant the harbor in the city. It needs to grow, and it needs to grow fast. So probably the harbor is the best district to get at 13 population. And then eventually over time we can place the water park and the campus here as well, because it's going to be a +3. So there's no real reason not to go for a builder here. Okay, in Argos we need to keep working on the dam. Down to 14 turns, and in the meantime we're gonna keep working on the industrial zone just to optimally do it. Same here, from 75 turns down to 52. And there's a source of coal here. So if we want to sacrifice the wheat tile, we can do something like aqueduct, dam, commercial hub, industrial zone. No, the industrial zone needs to be here, so it needs to be in between the aqueduct and dam in order to be a +7 probably. So if this is the industrial zone, then this can be the dam, and then this can be the aqueduct. Which then in this case means that the city has to be founded here, and the commercial hub would go here. So that's sort of the new layout, which looks perfectly fine to me, because it would be a +7 industrial zone. No real use for walls, no real use for a factory here, so let's work on the what. Alternatively, if it doesn't take too long here to produce a settler, yeah, 18 turns is reasonable, because then we can settle here at least. Then in this city, yeah, the shipyard would be useful, but I think I also want a settler out of here. And then this trader can go to the capital. And this guy can chop into the settler. This city has finally finished its lighthouse. So we need to buy a builder here, but we need to buy a builder in so many cities that I'd rather we actually hard build one here, because then it would help with the aqueduct and industrial zone. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave you here. I know it was only 7 turns, but we more or less fixed our science to the point where we're actually first now. And the Mapuche are second with almost 100 less than us. We're also not doing too bad in culture. We're gonna have the last government that we want to adopt not so far down the line, right after ideology. So if we can get to that before turn 200, that would be lovely. So it's time we started worrying about theater squares as well. Because as soon as we get one of these governments, we can build the building in the capital, which allows us to invest builder charges into projects, which means building spaceship parts with builder charges, and we're not too far away either from researching chemistry, which is going to happen probably sometime before turn 170 or 180. So we're well on our way for a very fast science victory, and I think we're well defended here from the Zulu, with this vampire castle and all of these units positioned on the border. So should we need to go aggressive against them, we can. And in terms of tech, since we're far ahead, then they're not that much of a threat as they were. Next episode, we're probably going to work on the second wave of settling, because I really want these cities out. Some of them at least, that have nice districts, as fast as possible. In order to get us all of these nice +3 campuses, which are ultimately bringing us closer to victory, since we have both the rationalism card plugged in, as well as the natural philosophy card plugged in, giving us, in cities with at least 10 population, and a +3 adjacency bonus, plus 100% science, and plus 100% adjacency bonus. So I'll see you in the next one.